Hello everybody, well this is my first episode ever. I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I love many TV shows on the sci-fi genre, but I have never actually watched Star Trek the original series. I mean, I hear people talking about Discovery and Picard and the Next Generation. There's so many to catch up with, which I don't think I will. But I think the one that I should not forgive myself for not watching is the original series. Now, when I was a child, and that was a long time ago, I remember the series were broadcasted on my local television, and I probably must have watched a few episodes, but that was more than 30 years ago, so I'm pretty sure I can't remember anything at all. I don't remember a single plot. The only one I remember is the one about the tribbles, because I thought they were so cute and I wanted to have one. So obviously I remember that one only, and that's it. Now, even though I don't really remember that much from Star Trek, I know I've seen the movies. I mean, the new movies, you know, with Chris Pine and the new cast. I do remember some of the characters. I remember obviously some of the actors from the original series, like, you know, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. But like I said, I don't really remember much of it. And every time that I read on the internet, I see that Star Trek is like, I don't know, it's considered to be a pioneer or the kind of show that planted the seed on what technology now is today. Some people claim that they kind of got the idea of the cell phone, for example, because of the communication devices they have. So I know that some people consider Star Trek to be like the thing in sci-fi, but other people call Star Wars to be the ones who perfected it. Now, nobody denies that Star Trek happened first, way before Star Wars came. And I mean, I've watched pretty much every single movie there is to watch from Star Wars. I haven't read the books or the comic books or whatever. I feel happy with the movies. But in the case of Star Trek, I definitely need to watch the entire original series. Like I said, to me, this is like watching it for the first time, because I don't even know what the first episode is, and I don't know what the last one is either. So, that's it. I'm just gonna be watching it for real for the first time. So I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna be watching both classic TV shows, and I'm gonna be watching modern, obviously. The next one will be Snowpiercer, and I'm really looking forward for the Umbrella Academy Season 2 and The Boys 2, which I will be also reacting to as soon as they come out. So please stay by. If there's any TV series that you would like me to watch, especially classic TV shows, don't forget to put it on the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much, and God bless. Bye bye. I'm gonna start with the pilot, which is called The Cage. Like I said before, I'm really not expecting anything from the series. Today's friend will be Robin. Hello, Robin. She's gonna be joining me for this first movie. And she's joining me because I already got my popcorn ready. I'm gonna start this. Let's get this done. The Enterprise.
Check the circuit. All operating, sir. Copy the screen then.
Oh, so that's Mr. Spock?
Something out there, Captain. Headed this way.
Who's that?
No, it's something else. There's still something out there.
So far, looking good. Oh, man. Oh, wow. He's gorgeous. He's so handsome. I don't remember his eyebrows to be that... What is that, a cruise ship? These guys are just walking around like this is like a cruise ship, or just hanging around or something. Sexy pose, of course.
Mr. Spock here.
We're intercepting a follow-up message, sir. There are crash survivors on TOS.
I mean, that's adventure time.
Alright, it's just that I get used to having a woman on the bridge.
What?
No offense, Lieutenant. You're different, of course.
You didn't make that any better. Mr. Spock's got a limp there. He definitely has a limp. Oh, grand, the survivors. It's kind of sad to think that this is like 50 years old. All that people's dead. At least the survivors, they look old. What? Oh, my.
This is Vina. Her parents are dead. She was born almost as we crashed.
She's beautiful. What did they get for this first episode, Miss Universe? Man, she's stunning. Oh my god, with the heads. I love the heads. And still, makeup is quite great for the time. I mean, it looks pretty good. And there was no other woman on the trip, and they'd been there for... What? Everything? Oh. Uh-oh. What's that? Oh my god, that's awful. That's ugly awful. I mean, not just that it would scare me, is that it just looks like plastic fur. I'm sorry, but it looks pretty bad. What in the name? It's like a bird. What's that? Oh, so they're keeping prisoners. Okay, 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 I'm getting into it. I'm digging it. Oh, they even got plants. Prisoners. That's cool, actually. Could be sentient, intelligent plants, you know.
Can you hear me? My name is Christopher Pike. Commander of the Space
Oh,
Station
Christopher
Enterprise,
Pike.
settling for the other end of this galaxy.
I do remember Captain Pike. He was in the first
Our
movie.
intentions are peaceful.
As you can read in his thoughts, it is only
Oh,
now
look, the
beginning to
veins in his
suspect
head are
the
like,
and the captain for a simple illusion
you know,
placed in their minds.
Yes. All right, then, so
the backs of the heads look like butts. It looks like butts. I'm not trying to be negative. They definitely look like butts.
We can soon begin the experiment.
Experiment.
It was a perfect illusion. They had us seeing just what we wanted to see.
Everything was an illusion then.
Let's be sure we understand.
The inhabitants of this planet can read our minds. They can create illusions out of a person's own thoughts, memories, and experiences, even out of a person's own desires.
This is kind of getting cool. I mean, the idea that they can go deep into your mind and they can start making you doubt whether it's real or not. They're taking your own memories, and that's actually kind of cool. I'm liking it. I'm actually liking this.
We will begin with this, giving the specimen something more interesting to protect.
A woman or a child. Like, that looks amazing. Oh, the drama.
Perhaps they made me out of dreams you've forgotten.
But and dressed you in the same metal fabric they wear?
Since you're not real, there's not much point in continuing this conversation, is there?
So she's not real?
You react, feel your emotions. They have a whole collection of specimens, descendants of life brought back long ago from all over this part of the galaxy.
That's kind of cool too. I mean, if they can actually create simulations for each kind of alien they've been collecting, I'm imagining, That's something to dig into, and it's kind of interesting.
I'm a woman, as real and as human as you are.
Are you or not real?
We're like Adam and Eve. If we...
What's happening? So she is real, but she can be teletransported to another place, or what?
If you continue to disobey, from deeper in your mind, there are things even more unpleasant.
I mean, he's been a captain on a ship. Of course he's seen some messed up stuff. That will be scary.
Let's stay on the first subject. All I wanted for that moment was to get my hands around your neck.
We repaired the
Well, that's honesty.
and
And they've taken it away.
You want the coffee, dear?
Oh, the horses and the picnic. They're back into his memories again.
I wonder what it would be like to forget all that.
What? Look, Gamora!
Nice place you have here, Mr. Blake.
Oh, he owns the place. Oh, that's her!
Suppose you
So
have
he's
all
had
things from,
fantasies
and this
with
was only
green
one
female
small
aliens
step.
doing belly dance. That's
Did you
basically
say
what they're
it was worth a
saying.
man's soul?
Captain Pike?
How can that help? Leave him alone. He doesn't need you. He's already picked me. Picked her? For what? I don't understand. Now there's a fine choice for intelligent offspring. Offspring? As in children?
Oh,
Offspring is in his Adam.
she's just marking her territory like hard.
I'd have more luck crossing him with a computer.
Well, shall we do a little time computation? There was a video.
Now, adding 18 years to your age then.
So she's old?
It's not fair.
Like Melisandre?
the two new specimens has qualities in her favor. The female you call number one has the superior mind and will produce highly intelligent children.
She often has fantasies involving you.
All I want to do is get my hands on you.
The other new arrival has considered you unreachable, but now is realizing this has changed. The factors in her favor are youth and strength.
They all
Unusually
love
strong
Captain Pike.
female
I'm sorry.
charms.
We all
You'll
love
find
Captain
my thoughts
Pike.
more interesting.
Oh man. What?
You stop this illusion or I'll twist your head off.
Oh, he's trying to scare him off. Okay.
I'm willing to bet you've created an illusion this laser is empty.
I think you just blasted a hole in that window and you're keeping us from seeing it. You want me to test my theory out on your head?
Oh. Okay.
Well, go on.
Hey, easy, man.
We had not believed this possible. The customs and history of your race show a unique hatred of captivity. Even when it's pleasant and benevolent, you prefer death. This makes you too violent and dangerous a species for our needs.
They can't use you.
So they're needing a species that willingly accepts a cage, basically. Oh my god! Oh.
see why I can't.
This is the female's true appearance.
Okay, so she gets to keep him as an illusion, and she keeps her illusion of beauty. They really must like this girl, you know? But still, she's still living in a cage, you know? Okay, so there's so much to unpack right now, I don't know where to start. Number one, I didn't know that this pilot episode didn't have the original cast members. That was a surprise. I'm not complaining though, because Captain Pike is just hottie. He was so handsome. A very pleasant thing for my eyes, I have to admit. And the girl, Vita, she is incredibly beautiful. She has a perfect face. She has a very feminine figure. I see some changes from this episode to what I remember from the original series. I don't remember seeing people walking around in casual clothes like these two guys that were walking around. I see that the uniforms also suffered some changes. I don't remember the necks having like this kind of a fluffy thing around them. I think even the fabric was different. But I understand this is a pilot and there are many changes from one episode to another. In many instances, this has been the case for many series. One of the things that I was totally not prepared for was the subject. This first episode contains so many great details about illusions and what today we call the simulations. And this is a recurrent subject for many modern series. For example, Black Mirror. The idea of Captain Pike suffering from his own memories of Fable, and he seems to be like in some sort of hell. This reminded me of Playtest, which is a Black Mirror episode, and the protagonist goes through his own personal hell, but this time he's willingly doing it. So he's kind of getting nightmares from his own memories after this device sort of digs back into his mind and gets all of these hallucinations, and he has to spend the full night doing that. One of the things that caught my attention was when Captain Pike asked her if the aliens had to dress her with the same metallic fabric that they wore. And this thingy made me remember of Inception and how Mr. Sato, I can't remember the guy's name, he could tell that that was a dream because a carpet that he was lying on was made of synthetic material, and he could remember even the smell of it. If they were making the simulations, did they think of all this architecture that happens in like it did in Inception? When Vita gets the illusion of beauty back, and then she gets the illusion of having Captain Pike to live with her probably for the rest of her life, it reminded me of two things. The first one is an episode of Love, Death and Robots, which is Beyond the Aquila Rift. This one gives us a very dark and very similar ending, which is, would you prefer to live in your reality knowing that your reality is terrible, the person is starved, he's in a terrible place, people is dying, he's probably rotten while he's still alive, there's this giant monster caring for everyone, and he gets the chance to willingly give himself to an illusion where he will be practically happy, even though he's gonna die eventually, and he's gonna have a terrible death, and he in reality is in a very bad position. And this is very similar to what Vita is. Vita is disfigured, everything kind of works, but she is not, and she doesn't look what she thinks she is or looks like, and she ends up preferring the illusion rather than living her reality and seeing what she actually looks like. The second thing that reminded me was Westworld. Now, I'm a huge fan of Westworld. It's one of those TV series that has totally blew my mind. And it reminded me of the Sublime, this beautiful place, this simulation for all the hosts to go and live forever. And Dolores doesn't like it because in the end, just like Captain Pike said before, it's a cage. And she actually uses the same words. It's a cage nonetheless.
In one more gilded cage?
I think these 2 episodes are very, very modern, and they are still tracing back an episode that was made 50 years prior in them, and this is something really to admire from Star Trek. In general, this episode gets a solid 9. I got a lot of surprises. I wasn't expecting any of it. And all the difference that I see from this episode and the rest of the episodes that I barely remember, I have to say, they're not bad surprises at all. Couple of things that I will understand. It was back in the 60s. Probably they didn't get enough budget. So there are a lot of things to consider, and I'm really considering even the plastic fur, okay? Even with the plastic fur, it gets a 9. So I just got on the internet, I went on Wikipedia, and a huge bomb, and I mean a bomb, was just dropped. NBC reportedly called the pilot too cerebral, too intellectual, and too slow with not enough action. They just described every single episode from Black Mirror. Rather than rejecting the series, though, the network commissioned a second pilot where no man has gone before. Okay, so what I'm understanding is that this episode didn't make it. I'm baffled. One of the things that I liked about it is that it was actually something that you had to think about the illusions, the hallucinations, the simulation, whatever it was, you had to be thinking, and now they're telling me that it was too cerebral. In general, I had a great time. I'm really looking forward for watching episode 2. I hope, and I'm pretty sure that the next episodes are going to be pretty much now the series as we knew it. I'm also happy that the cage, even though it didn't make it in the first shot, is now considered canon, I think. I mean, Netflix included it for a reason. So I know that Netflix doesn't have any input on what to show, not what to show from a TV series. So I'm guessing this is more like the studio decision to include this first episode as canon. Well, that was it for me. I hope I get much better at editing this kind of videos. It has been quite a hectic thing trying to, juggle all these balls in the air. I hope you guys like it. I'm really looking forward for the next series. And this is not going to be the only classic TV series that I'm going to be watching. If you have any suggestions, please make sure you leave them in the box below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. God bless. Bye-bye.